Hi. This week, instead of just sharing a recipe on our Facebook page, I thought I would do a fun video of a recipe and share it with you on our new YouTube channel. So when you do turn into this channel, please subscribe. So this week we're going to do a recipe that is a healthy snack that is easy to make and one that you can make with your kids or your grandkids. As you can see, I have everything measured out. Now, so you don't have to remember the recipe as I'm saying it, I have printed it up, and as you can now see, I have it as a photograph on the video. So let's begin. So we're going to take 3 cups of a multigrain toasted cereal, 3 cups of a Rice Krispies cereal, 1.5 cups of raisins, get that all out there, 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds, and 1 cup, and this is the most important part, 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate morsels. Now you'll see I like the small, the mini morsels, but I kind of ran out, so the bottom is the normal size. So it doesn't matter which size you use. Now I'm going to mix it up real good because it's important that this is mixed up well at this point before we add the rest of the ingredients, which will kind of hold it together in a bar. You want to make sure that it's well mixed, and I think that's pretty good. So before we head to the stovetop to make the rest of the ingredients that actually holds everything together, let me step here a second and show you. I have everything laid out and ready, but I want to show you this vanilla. This is a Mexican vanilla, which I absolutely love, but a good vanilla is really important for a lot of different recipes. In fact, Bernie, our office manager, they use this every week for homemade ice cream. So make sure you have a good vanilla even for this recipe. Now, as you see, I've already put the honey, the 1 cup of honey, it was 1 cup of honey, by the way, into a pot on medium to medium high, and I have it boiling. Now what we need to do is add the entire jar of peanut butter, and you can see with natural peanut butter how oily it is, but that's good oil. So I'm going to add all the peanut butter, but I want to make sure that I get all of the peanut butter out of the jar. And you can see how it's still boiling and everything, and it's going to boil quite a bit as I add this. Now I'm almost done with adding the peanut butter. All right, that'll be good. And this is my wooden spoon to help stir it. Now I am really sticky gooky, but that's okay. So I'll just set that aside, and I'm going to stir this in so that the peanut butter gets melted and stirred in with the honey. I should be wearing my apron. I just splashed myself. But the last thing I need to add while this is cooking is the 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And you can see it makes a little hissing noise as it goes in, but the vanilla is important. Okay, before I pour the peanut butter and honey mixture in with the cereal mixture, I want you to notice that I put a hot pad underneath here and also underneath my baking pan. Even though I'm not going to bake, this is going to be hot pouring in, and because I'm using metal, I didn't want to get the hot metal against my countertop. So now I'm going to take my peanut butter and honey mixture, and I'm not going to pour it all at once. I'm going to kind of pour it around and then set her back over on the stove, and then I'm going to mix it so I'm sure that it gets mixed good. Now it's going to take, I'm going to be probably pouring it out of the pot several different times, but I definitely want to make sure that this is mixed well because it's the peanut butter and the honey that actually holds everything together. Now you want to make sure, you'll see I had used a non-stick pan, and that's because you can scald the bottom of this, so you don't want to cook it too long that it really starts to boil and then sticks or burns onto the bottom. Okay, I'll put that on the stove, and I'm mixing it up one last time, making sure that once again it is mixed thoroughly. You don't want any dry ingredients. It's important. And you can see how the chocolate is actually melting, and that's what makes it so good. I mean, I'm a chocolate fiend and I love dark chocolate, so these semi-sweet morsels are the best. The last thing we're going to do right now is, one, I need to be careful because I'm all sticky, but I'm going to take some non-stick cooking spray and just lightly spray this pan which is a 15 by 10 by 1 inch pan. Set this out of my way, and I'm now going to take this and put it in. And what you want to do is, as you pour it in, so I want to make sure, and it's a little warm to the touch, but I want to make sure that I have everything pressed out and off my spoon, pressing it out, making sure it's even. It doesn't have to be quite even, but we don't want big globs of it in the middle. Now what we're going to do after this is, once it's all spread out, it needs to cool, because you can now, after it's all done, you can eat it right away once it cools, or it's great to freeze. And I'll show you that once it's all cool. Now you can even, if it's all right in your house, you can let it cool here. But what I'm going to do to hasten the process is I'm going to put the pan in the refrigerator to cool it off. Well, it's been about an hour, and I've now taken this out of the refrigerator, and as you can see, I've started to cut it into squares, and I've started to wrap it into clear wrap. Now I've wrapped them both double, and I've also wrapped them single, because it depends if Joe and I are each going to have a treat or individually. I've now started to store them in a container that I can keep in the refrigerator for us to snack on now, or I'm putting some in a Ziploc baggie, which I can then put in the freezer. These are great frozen and taken right out from there. Now, even if it gets a little crumbly, no problem, because you can just kind of pick up all the crumbs and put them in and wrap it up, and they're still good to eat later on. Now, I know everybody's going a little stir crazy in quarantine and being locked down at your house and stuff, but these are treats for everybody, and you never know what might come by to steal one of your treats that you've just made. And I think that even he will like them.